Workouts for Older Men Live. I am 𝗪𝗲𝗄. So glad you are joining me. Hey, when you come on, say hello and tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me how old are you too. I want to know who coming my way. Tell me how old you are. Tell me where you're watching me from. I want to answer any questions that you have about fitness. If you are new, I'm doing this on X. The second time I'm going live on X. I'm doing this on my TikTok page. I'm doing this on YouTube, all at 𝗪𝗲𝗄, and then on Facebook at 𝗪𝗲𝗄 page. Make sure you're on all of my social media platforms, and make sure that you visit my 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗃.com website. I am going to be more than happy to answer any fitness questions that you have here today. When you go to 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗃.com, you'll see that I have a whole series of videos for the questions that you have now to become more effective and efficient in the gym. And now that you're a little bit older, right? You got a busy schedule trying to get it all in. I want to help you with the most effective and efficient strategies, the elegant use of your willpower, focus, energy, and time. And there is a way to do that. I want to share that with you. When you go to 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗃.com, you'll see the training strategies, the workout strategies in the gym, also the eating strategies, what you need to do to eat right, to build muscle and lose body fat now that you're a little bit older. Also mindset, motivation, really connected to why this is so important to you, why it should be important to you, how to make it more of a priority. It's all over on 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗃.com. When you go there, also make sure that you are on my email list, because I will have a series of videos that'll direct you to the right videos at the right time over the next couple of months. I help you break this down. So if you're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life, and you're looking all over social media for the training information. And it just seems so confusing. It seems conflicting. Even when you think you're doing it right, you'll see other information that makes you think you're doing it wrong. All right, moving forward with such uncertainty, right? I want to give you that sense of certainty by breaking it down. So when you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Make sure you follow, subscribe over on YouTube, follow on TikTok, right? So you'll be alerted every time I go live. I go live about this time every single day, 7 days a week, 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. I'm in the Pacific time zone. So you're the first person I wake up to every single day. I say when I start my day, this is before I start my day, right? Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you so much for the follows. Zay, thank you so much for the follow. All right, during this live broadcast, I want to talk about time-saving strategies, how to get more done in less time in the gym. And I know you love this. You want to do the work. Just like with anything in life, there's a price to pay, but you don't want to overpay the price. Can you get this done? Do you have to work out 2 hours a day at a gym, 7 days a week to look the way you want to? You don't. And I want to break down some of the most effective and efficient time-saving strategies where you can get this done, right? Focus and intensity, knowing what you're doing, you can get more done in less time. All right. Ramon, thank you so much for the follow. Rich, thank you so much for the follow. All right. This is a question that I always get at least once or twice every time I go live over on TikTok. Just turned 38 years old. Was wondering, should I start TRT? TRT, if you don't know what that is testosterone replacement therapy. Testosterone replacement therapy, and all over social media, right? I don't know. This is the thing is that we're convinced that we're so deprived. We're lacking in testosterone as men, and with that lack of testosterone, there's no way you can build muscle. There's no way you can lose body fat. Your testosterone levels at whatever age they talk about, whatever you're deficient at, it's implanted in your mind. You're being hypnotized to believe that you are so deficient on testosterone. And so it's quite common. I get asked, should I go on testosterone replacement therapy. I see the age getting lower and lower and lower on that. Look, definitely should not just assume just because of your age. You should, if you feel you have concerns, and I'm not really talking about building muscle and losing body fat, right? Doing this for 35 years and helping out so many men. Everybody believes they should get more production, right? More muscle. They should lose more body fat, build more muscle, lose more body fat in less time. With the amount of work they're doing, they feel they're getting shortchanged. They want it faster, right? They want more of it or less of it when it comes to body fat in more time. That is just it's just common. So just assuming that it's because of your testosterone levels are low definitely should not come to that conclusion. Just because you're a little bit older, definitely should have that checked if that's a concern, right? What you should definitely do, right, is learn what it takes to build muscle and lose body fat. All right, before just assuming that there are so many things I want to help you differentiate what's important, what's not. And here's the thing: if you see that your testosterone levels are low, and that's what you want to do, go on getting testosterone replacement. You're going to need to commit to that for the rest of your life because your body isn't going to produce it after you start taking the hormones. All right, you're going to have to learn how to train in the gym and eat right to get the most out of it. I always tell men that, even if it was to aid you, and I just talked to a gentleman just last week, and he was been on it like 6 months, and this was something new to me because I'm not in testosterone replacement therapy. I work with a lot of men who are. I hear all the stories, right, doing what I do every single day. And he was saying that he's been on it for 6 months and he doesn't even know what the difference is. He's waiting for it to kick in, which was strange to me. The way it's talked about, it's like just a magical. It's just magical. You're going to get immediate results. It's just going to put you further ahead. So if you don't have much muscle, if you got a lot of body fat, it'll help you build more muscle, help you lose more body fat, but you're just a little bit higher on the rung. You're still on the journey to have more for what it is that you want. Right. What I've found, with a lot of feedback from men is that it's more about energy. It's more about helping them deal with emotions, depression, anxiety. It gives them more aggressiveness. They like that feeling. It's more about a life-enhancing drug more than it is what it does to your physical body. I think that's the biggest benefit of it, just that sense of well-being. Right. So that's something for you to explore more. Definitely, you got to think of the risk that you take, the health risk that you take, because with anything, there are benefits and potential drawbacks to it. I don't think the drawbacks are ever discussed online. So make sure you check that out. But regardless, come here, learn about working out at a higher level, working about eating right, being efficient with that, because you're going to need to know that anyway. All right. All right. Let's see here. So while you're explaining yourself, I just want to thank you beforehand because of all the ads. Yes, on TikTok, I mean, that's all you see is you need a testosterone replacement therapy, right? So let's see here. Yeah, it is confusing. Okay, so Thomas says, yo, I'm big, but I've been cutting calories and going to the gym. What else can I do to get better? You're watching your diet, you're going to the gym. I mean, that's a good start. That's definitely a good start. 𝗪𝗲𝗋𝗄 says, remember your articles in the muscle magazines. Been lifting since I was 19, now 53. Well, great to have you here. Are you new here, 𝗪𝗲𝗋𝗄, and new on TikTok? Let me know if you're new. Make sure that you follow. Thank you so much for the follows. 𝗪𝗂𝗃628. Thank you so much for the follow. All right. 𝗕𝗂𝗶𝗹𝗱𝗃 over on TikTok. I'm 33. Is that old enough to exercise? Yes, it certainly is. All right. User Callie, thank you. Thank you. You gained a subscriber. Well, thank you so much. So glad you are here. I come to you every single morning about this time, 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be here, for within close to an hour. All right. I do come back at night over on TikTok. Again, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you follow. Make sure you're on Facebook too, even if you're just a TikTok guy or a YouTube guy, because in addition to making videos, I just post a lot of, a couple paragraph informational things, diet, training, motivation, a lot of things that I experience throughout my day as I do one-on-one coaching with men just like you. So I'm constantly learning, constantly explaining things maybe just a little bit better. And so it's a constant flow. So if this is something that you want, we become what we think about most. And I certainly know what it's like. I may have this fitness thing down and doing it for 35 years, but I know what it's like to have an interest, a desire to want to prove a certain area, and you got to break it down. If it's not how you normally think, trying to introduce new habits at a higher level in your life, it's a process, right? You got to be patient, right? And so just immersing yourself in the process every single day, joining my live videos, right? Frequently, you're taking this time on social media, just coming to my page. Good morning, Randall, over on Facebook. Just little by little, I'll help you break it down and understand what's important and what's not. So thank you so much for being here. Time is my enemy. Go work out. So Colin, TRT, I just answered that question. What's your question about TRT, Colin? You have a specific question about it? All right, let me tell you a little bit about myself. If you know, I'm doing this on the X platform just for the second time. I do this live on Facebook at 𝗪𝗂𝗃 page, on TikTok at 𝗪𝗂𝗃, and on YouTube at 𝗪𝗂𝗃. My name is 𝗪𝗂𝗃. I will be 62 years old next month. I've been doing this for 35 years. My first 15 years, it just became all of me, my identity. I'm a former 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. I built my first internet website back in 1994. I sold my first VHS tape around the world in 1998. I've been writing articles for the Muscle magazines, hundreds of articles. You can do a Google search and see my body of work over the years. I've been doing this a long time, but it's not just what I've done personally. All along the way, I've been helping other men. Last 8 years, I realized that when I was what I call a younger, passionate fitness expert, when I was bodybuilder, a lot of the things that I did everything in the kitchen sink. So I would do the most effective, efficient workout strategies, but on top of it, I would do more because I loved it so much, and I was so determined to get better and better at what I did. I had an awakening about 11 years ago when I was at a business meeting, and there was a gentleman that wasn't related to the business meeting I was at, and he was just a regular guy, probably in his 40s, and he said to me, "Are you 𝗪𝗂𝗃?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I used to get your VHS tapes and all your books." He goes, "Man, you are hardcore." And really, it's interesting, but for the very first time, I was thinking, wow, yeah. Because now I was 10 years removed from competing, and just that obsession, that drive, determination, right? Thinking about, writing about it, being it, living it, right? And I realized that, wow, this guy was trying to follow my information. I was eating 8 meals a day at the time, every 2 hours, pumping my chest, had this whole ritual before I even lifted the weights, all these things, because it was just everything in the world to me. Separating my cardio 12 hours, coming back to the gym from weight training because I didn't want the two to affect each other, right? I mean, every single detail possible that you may have heard. I would do it. I would implement it in my pursuit to be the best, and I'd write about it. And I did get results, but now it's 10 years removed, and I start realizing, a lot of that stuff, it was interesting. It made it optimal, but it wasn't important. I was thinking, wow, there's no way this guy, and he was talking business at a high level. I was thinking, man, there's no way that he could follow all this stuff. But I really thought about it is that I was just sharing everything I learned. I learned from the best, the most passionate teachers and coaches in bodybuilding and training. And when you go down that route, everything is extreme. All right. I didn't really step inside the shoes of someone like him. And what does he need to do? What can he cut out to just build muscle and lose body fat? He wasn't in the greatest shape. And I was thinking about, that's how a lot of older men with busy production lives totally overwhelmed by all this information, trying to do it all by the younger, passionate fitness experts. And I say that empathetically because I was in one. There was no way he can differentiate what was important and what was not. Now, 20 years removed and living life probably like a lot of the men who a little bit older who I help, I'm living the life that you lived like 25 years ago. At almost 62 years old, I have an 11-year-old daughter. She'll be 11, and a 9-year-old son. And I have empathy what you were doing back there in your 30s and 40s, and how you may have not have made the time to be in shape, but now you do have the time. And now I understand what you're going through. And so that's what I do. I strip down what's important, what's not. All right. So you can build muscle, lose body fat with all the confusion, frustration, overwhelm, right? Something that's sustainable, yet effective. And most of the information that you're getting, right, especially on social media, because all the fitness influencers are just fighting for your attention. And the basic organizing principles that you need, they're not talked about enough because that's boring. Maybe not, could be to them, depending on where they are. All right. Maybe they just talked about it a couple months ago, but now here you are brand new, and you got to start with the basic organizing principles, that strong foundation of what's important and what's not. But a lot of the viewers, not you, but men like you, they think they know the basics. And so they just want something new. So most of the information, again, the basic organizing principle that works, that you need, they're not talked about enough. They're not appreciated enough. And so you are being presented things that are very exciting, maybe optimal, maybe new training, may have just been to invent it and it's catching on. And that's social media. And that's great. That makes it entertaining. If you do have the basics when it comes to working out and eating, you have it under control. You appreciate those basics. And then you're consistent. Well, and then you love just to learn more and more, about fitness. Well, then that will be great for you. But for the majority of men who just want to learn how to build muscle and lose body fat, and then they got to get back to their busy, productive life, they're being skipped over, having a real hard challenge differentiating what's important and what's not. And so that's what I've dedicated the last 8 years, older men with busy, productive lives. So that sounds like you, to differentiate what's important and what's not. Then make sure you follow, make sure you follow, make sure you go to 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏.com, where I break it down. I break it down in a more simple form, no nonsense. All right. Again, I know for a lot of men, they love this so much. They don't mind spending 2 hours, 6-7 days a week in the gym because they love it so much. It's gym therapy. I get all that. But if you just can't seem to get it done, you can't get going, you must at this. Maybe you've been carrying around that extra 40 pounds of body fat forever. And now you have some time, your business settled down, the kids are gone or almost gone. And now you want to dedicate. I want to break it down for you. I want to help you. I've got many ways to help you. Go to 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏.com, watch those videos. I do one-on-one coaching. I'll talk about that. And when I do these lives every single day, I give you the opportunity to reach out, send me a picture, text me a picture, fill out a questionnaire, and I make my time to talk to a couple men every single day who start their day watching my live broadcast. And I will call you that day, spend 10 or 15 minutes, help you identify or really zone in on your number one challenge, help you understand what you need to do, give you some steps forward. And I'll do that for you absolutely free. I'll talk about that in a moment. All right. Let's see here. A lot of chronic pain warrior. Thank you for the follow. Martin Blanchard, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Divine Judah, thank you so much for the follow. Hey, thank you so much for the likes. When you are here, the algorithm finds more men just like you, so I'm so glad you're here. Just thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes, the follows, the shares. Julian, yes, I do remember whey protein. All right. All right, guys. So I'm going to take your questions or just hang out. I want to talk about time-saving strategies, right? And again, I know like many men, they just love the gym so much. It's their gym therapy. It's interesting. It's interesting because I asked this question on my Facebook page one time. I said, if you could get just as much done, productivity in the gym, if you can get just as much done in less time, would you do it? What do you think the answer was to that? What do you think the majority of the answers of men who would maybe are spending time on social media? Right. So recently on my Facebook page, I asked the question, if you can get just as much done, or maybe even more done, more productivity, get more done with your weight training efforts in less time in the gym, maybe cut 1 or 2 days off your schedule, a couple hours a week less, and you're getting just as much or more done, would you do it? A surprising number of men said, no, I love my gym time. No, I want my time in the gym. That's my place to get away, connect to myself. And I get all that. Where I had some men say, why wouldn't you want to get more done in less time? So I understand we're all in the gym for other reasons besides just building muscle and losing body fat, right? So this is for the men who just can't seem to get it done, can't find a sustainable way of getting their workouts done on a consistent basis, being consistent with that over time. Maybe they have spurts of motivation, but it doesn't seem to last because they just can't afford the time. Their mind, their business, right? Their family takes up those concerns. So, there is a price to pay for whatever you do. And if you want to build that muscle in the gym, there is a price to pay. It's just that you don't want to overpay the price if you don't have to. Some men are more than willing to overpay the price because they're in it for more than just building muscle and losing body fat and being healthy and fit, right? And I get all that. So here are some time-saving tips when it comes to working out to get more done in less time, to produce more muscle in less time, right? So number one, you need to understand this. If you're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life, that weight training in the gym, or what most men are trying to do, is just to tax the muscle, overload the muscle, break it down, stimulate muscle growth, right? To build muscle. They want to build muscle. We're going to need that muscle when we're older. So even if you don't want to become a bodybuilder, you got to work to keep what we have. And this is especially true as we get older. So weight training and the sets, the reps, the exercises are to stimulate muscle growth in most cases. Now, again, there's mobility, right? Functional movement, those type of things, to stretching. I get all that. But as far as the weight training is concerned, it's to stimulate muscle growth, right? So if you think more time in the gym, and I'm not necessarily talking about cardiovascular training, I'm not talking about stretching, I'm not talking about functional movement, right? That if you think it's going to lose that body fat, most men, the number one challenge is losing body fat. Even if they look better than most, you'll look a lot better when you lose more body fat. Most men, some men, admittedly, they've got 40, 50 pounds that have been carrying around for a very long time, and they need to lose that. Some men, it's the last 10 pounds. But you got to remember that weight training, that is not, it's going to help you lose that 50 pounds or that last 10 pounds of body fat. It's not going to happen with your weight training. I don't care how effective and efficient you are. I don't care how hard you train, how much intensity, how much you know about weight training. Right? If you want to lose that body fat, that is going to be done through your diet. Right? So if you don't like the way you look and you're trying to chip away at the body fat, working more time, more sets, more reps, again, being in the gym more often to lose that body fat, you're going down the wrong route. So that's what you need to be effective and efficient with your time. Number one, all that time in the gym, if you're trying to lose that body fat, that's not going to do it. It's going to come through your nutrition, your eating habits. So for a lot of men, for what they're trying to do, that's going to cut off a lot of time. Right? We got to spend that focus, breaking down and following through with the right eating strategies. So if you're trying to transform that body by losing that body fat, so it's not going to happen through your weight training. All right, a lot of men. So how often should I train each body part? Right? What type of split should I do? Should it be a full workout, or should I split the body up? Right? How many times a week? Well, the first thing that most men, we tend to believe that more is better. Training a body part or twice a week as opposed to once a week, it must be better. Not necessarily. What you need to do is, what can you commit to? Right? If you break the body up over 4 or 5 days, you can be in there for 45 minutes less. But now, under those deadlines, now you have to learn how to be intense, how to train, how to be effective and efficient. So if you think more is better and you're in the gym 6 days a week, a couple hours, all right, you have the wrong mindset to save time, because the more you go by feeling and you allow yourself, you're never going to be satisfied in a shorter period of time. You're just going to add more and more sets, and you're going to lessen the intensity of the power that you put into it. All right. So, if this is important to you, you may have that uncomfortable feeling of leaving the gym thinking, I could have done more. I don't really feel it. You got to deal with that pain. All right. So that the next time you learn how to become more and more intense. And so if you only have 4 days, you got to stick to that 4 days, 45 minutes. It can be done. Right. As far as breakdown, you can go to skippthecore.com, how to break the body part up. Now, there isn't necessarily only one way to do that. It's what you do in the gym, right? So if you do a full body workout, the key is to get the most out of the set that you're doing. Don't save a couple more reps. Always be safe, of course. All right. Don't save a couple to pace yourself through the workout. Learn how to get the most out of every set, because it's those intense sets where you safely go close to getting everything you can, and then you stack sets just like that on top of each other. You'll find out that you can get more done in less time. As far as warming up is concerned for the weights, you want to thoroughly warm up. You want to be mentally, physically, emotionally ready, right, to challenge yourself, right? And if you have a weight that is, safe, less challenging, right, it's still going to feel heavy at the end. So you want to be mentally prepared, but also warm up your body. So at the beginning of the workout, right, you just warm up. Right? If you're training chest, for example, do whatever it takes, as many sets that it takes, but you want to use the least amount of sets, the least amount of reps, least amount of weight until you're thoroughly warmed up and ready to go. Once you're warmed up for that workout, right, it's very important. When you do the second exercise for chest, and certainly the third and the fourth, you don't need to warm up again just because it's different exercise. If you were able to really work that set, challenge yourself mentally with the right amount of weight all the way to the end of the set on the first exercise for chest, then you are already warmed up physically for the second, third, and fourth exercise. So you don't need to constantly pyramid up again. Go right to that heavy overload sets that challenge you after that first set. All right, so a lot of men, they'll do 4 sets for every exercise, let's say for chest. So in the second set, what they'll do is they'll do 2 sets of less than 100%, I know, 75%, whatever. And then the last 2 is when they really go for it. It's only those last 2 that you really go for that's going to challenge you. Those are the only ones that are effective. Everything else is less than. All right, so you can take out those 2 warm-up sets where you're already warmed up on the second exercise, the third exercise, the fourth exercise. Cut out those 2 and go right to the 2 that matter. right? You got to get mentally ready, but your body is ready, and then you go right after it, all right? And so instead of after those your first sets, I mean, and then you do 12 more, but only 6 of them are where you're going for. The ones that you're really going for, really concentrating, really going to failure, challenge yourself, really concentrating, those are the only ones that matter. You can cut out the 6 less than sets that are supposedly warming up again. That's how you can cut out half the volume, just with that mentality. And with that mentality is how you can see that you can get this done, especially for a lot of men with busy, productive lives who are just trying to build muscle, lose body fat. They don't want to become a bodybuilder, right? That's how you get more done in less time, right? Be careful not to just duplicate a lot of the same exercises, like for chest. As far as body parts, are concerned, it's your genetic shape, and then you maximize it with how much muscle that you build. And especially when you're older, when you get rid of all the body fat, you'll be amazed by how much muscle you have and how great it looks. But you got to lose that body fat, and it's got to be a lot less body fat than what you look like in clothes. And I know you probably already look better than most men your age. But when you get leaner, if you really want to pay that price, if that's what you want, you'll be amazed at your size, how long you've been training, how much of an illusion that muscle they have, the leaner you get. Don't be afraid that you're losing your body fat too. A lot of men mistakenly believe that because they're getting smaller, they're no longer wearing an extra large shirt, let's say. Now it's kind of swimming on. Go ahead and just buy the large shirts and fill those up, because really that is the quality amount of muscle you have, even though you think you're losing size. So don't be afraid to do that. You'll see all this muscle that you're producing, and then you won't have this need to have all these longer workouts, training more frequently. You can't sustain anyway. This body fat, you'll see me come back to it over and over again. That's your real ticket to have the body that you want. Not more time in the gym, not more frequent training. All right. So again, it's all about that intensity and blocking yourself in. Another thing, so you don't want to do a lot of duplicate exercises. If you're working chest, 3 exercises for chest is plenty. Don't think more is better, and just cover all your bases. So I'm going to do, 6, 7 exercises for chest, and this could be back, legs, arms, or whatever it is. Do more different exercises, because more is better. Just get better with the 2 or 3 that you're doing. That's how you save time, and you get more done in less time. So when it comes to rest between sets, you may think you want to hurry from set to set, only rest, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, because you're moving fast. You might think it's a cardiovascular workout, or because you're demanding yourself that sense of stamina, let's say, that it's better. Not for muscle building. Right? You're not burning more calories. That's not going to affect your fat loss. It would seem like it is, but it's not. Right? You want to rest as long as you can without losing your focus field to get 100% of your strength back, because it's that quality intense set that I talked about that matters. How many times have you, and maybe you've done that, you only rest 30 seconds believing that's the best thing to build muscle, have a better workout, and you just couldn't get on your machine, something other distracted you, and instead of 30 seconds you had to wait a minute and a half, and you were significantly stronger than the set or 2 before. You had 2 or 3 more reps. All right, that's just waiting 30 more seconds. That is what you need to put onto every set. It's that one intense set. All right, that's what makes up for 5 less than intense sets by hurrying. So hurrying from set to set, I know that seems like it's making workout more challenging. And yes, there are these super set routines and things like that. But really, if you're an older man, you're busy productively, you need to get in and out of there 3-4 days a week, 45 minutes or less. Are you willing to pay that price? But everything else starts taxing into your regular life. Well, this is how you train to really get it done, not by taking steps backwards, not shortchanging yourself, to actually get more done than the guy your age who's in there for 2 hours, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. Many times, right? He's there for the mental and emotional reasons, the getaway. And again, if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm for it. But this is for men who want to make this a part of life, but they got a lot of things going on. How do they do it? A lot of times when you see some of the maybe the younger passionate fitness experts, you can tell that's all they think about, and that's their identity. That's a great place to be, but you can't adopt that mentality or those habits if you're going to get this done. All right, so you got to remember that, right? These are all these things. It's about that one quality set stacked up on another one, and 9 of those. That's what gets it done. Not doing it more often. The term now I hear is called junk sets, where you do all these extra sets. And a lot of the young guys, there's a lot of junk sets that really aren't producing anything, but it fulfills that need to do volume, love training, things like that. So I understand that need. It's a big difference, but those are the things that you need to remember. Not just adding more sets, more exercises, more reps even. Right, coming to the gym and training that body part more often, that's not going to do it. It's just going to lessen the intensity. It's going to, instead of that heat that you need, it's going to just lower the temperature to a lukewarm and give you that illusion that you're getting more done, but you're not. So those are some time-saving tips mentally as well as physically, strategic strategies of lifting the weight. And again, what that's for, it's not to burn body fat. It's to initiate the muscle building process. But those are some time-saving tips to get more done in the gym now that you're a little bit older. You've got a busy, productive life, and you need to create a sustainable mental and physical approach to your working out. And I hope that's helpful. All right, guys, let's go back to some of this training. Now, again, there are different ways. I mean, a lot of ways, the simple way to go about to build muscle is just the overload training, watch your diet. That's how you build muscle and lose body fat. All right. I know there's a lot more to it for some people. They want to stretch, mobility, calisthenics. They're in it for, other reasons, right? But you can do all that by just going in there, overloading muscle and losing that body fat. All right, let's see here. Carlito, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for being here. Best core workouts for the abs, obliques. Now, again, Ethan, is got to show those abs, those legs, to have a rep set of abs to lose that body fat on those obliques. Right, because if that's what you're looking for in exercise, that's going to really define your abs. There are no exercises that are going to do that. It's going to work the muscle, right? But you got to lose that body fat on the abs to show those abs. You probably have I don't care how long you've been training. You probably have enough to show them once you get rid of that body fat. But there are no special exercises that are going to burn through the body fat and show your abs deeper, more etched. And I know. A lot of men may think that going in. A lot of men, hey, I did these ab exercises every single day and they worked for me. Well, it was, you did those ab exercises. It did work the muscle, but it is your diet that showed those abs. So you did, you were doing it. So James says you are making good sense. I'm glad I am. I'm glad that's helpful. Again, if you're new over on Twitter or new here on TikTok, and make sure you follow. All right. But my name is 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗃. I'll be 62 years old next month. I've been doing this for 35 years. All the things that you're hearing about, whether it's carnivore diet, carb cycling, intermittent fasting, whether it's in the gym, different types of training splits and frequency, I kind of talked about. All right, I've done them all at a very high level, learning from the best as I became a 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder, doing that for 15 straight years. All right, really dedicating myself to. So all these strategies that you are hearing about, I've done them at a high level, and now doing it for so long and being able to compare and contrast what's hype, what may be better, but maybe more complicated, right? And now being 20 years removed, where I live a more normal life, I've got to be efficient with my time. All right. I have that knowledge to differentiate what's important and what's not. Right. That may be optimal, but for the amount of effort, it's not that significant. It's not a game changer. That's the type of information I want to help you weed through and differentiate. Right. So this is meant for busy, productive lives who want to get it done, want to look great, but they don't have all the time, and you don't have the years of your life for all the trial and error. And that's what I want to do. That's who I focus on. Right? Could I help a 23-year-old bodybuilder, all right, who wants to get into bodybuilding? Sure, I could. 15-year-old finding his way and what muscle can do for him. Yes, can I help women? I can help anybody. Like the organizing principles of building muscle and losing body fat are generally the same, depending on how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole, right? But I really focus on men, a certain group of men. There's thousands of fitness coaches, gurus, experts, but if you're a man with a busy, productive life, and maybe you didn't make the time earlier in your life, now you have the time, carrying around that extra 40 pounds body fat. Maybe you're a year or so into this, and you're finding all this information confusing. I want to use the experience I talked about to help you differentiate what's important and what's not, so you can have the body that you want and round out your busy, productive life. I know you put so much into your family and your business, and now you're getting older, and now you got to think about longevity. You have the time. I want to help you break it down. And so, gentleman just asked, do you have any advice for the younger generation for taking performance-enhancing drugs and the side effects? Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're younger, let me just tell you, I've been doing this for 35 years, right? Whatever you think you're going to get from having bigger muscles, you're not going to get it. All right, whatever it is you think you're going to get, you're not going to get it. But you're going to take performance-enhanced drugs, spend all this time building muscle only to come back to whatever it is you're looking for, right? Get in shape, pursue it, have fun with it, but you don't want to risk anything to have muscles, right? Look, you think all those big bodybuilders that you see, especially like with TikTok, and they're showing you, do they seem happier now that they have big muscles, right? You got to think about why you're doing this, right? And also what I would have for the younger generation, find a mentor who's your age, who you can relate to, all right? Most of the things also will be distracting for you because it won't be fit. If you're obsessed enough to use performance-enhanced drugs, there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to match your level of intensity, because it's not worth all that, right? So I'm just going to distract you, and none of the information is going to be directed to you. All right, let's see here. 𝗕𝗂𝗋𝗃, thank you for the follow. Rick Lee, thank you for the follow. So she says, I got it from an extra large to medium in shirts in 6 months. Awesome. See, a lot of men, they've been building muscle for years, Steve. That's why they never get down to a medium, even though they didn't build enough muscle. That's what they should. They'd rather stay bigger. They don't like, they don't like the feeling of swimming around in the shirts or having to buy smaller shirts. So Peter says, 100 pounds, I can't thank you enough. And I'm amazed at your advice works. Well, thank you. Peter says, a few weeks since you gave advice on chest. Absolute genius, my friend. I see big improvements. Let's see. Well, good for you. Rick says, I love what you're saying. I've been getting straight to the heavy early on and find results. Awesome. Boxing, thank you so much for the follow. All right. So, I'm going to take a moment to direct you, because I know you have a lot of questions, and maybe some of the questions that I have, maybe you came in the middle of this live broadcast. Make sure you join me at this time for at least an hour every single morning, 7 days a week. I come to you just to immerse yourself in what you're focused on most to be fit. All right. but it may be bringing up more questions, maybe be more confusing. I understand that. I understand how challenging it is. Make sure that you follow, right? Whether you're on Facebook, or on YouTube, or on X, make sure you follow. But go to 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃.com. That's my website. Again, been doing this for 35 years. Again, I built my first website back in 1994, sold my first VHS tape in 1998. So I've been doing this, explaining this for a long time, right? You can see this over on TikTok. All right, I'm going to take you over to my 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃.com website. I'm just going to read off some of the topics I talked about. There's a 5-minute video, a 20-minute video, a half-an-hour video that's going to talk about all these things in more detail. And I'll be more than happy to answer any of these questions here just for you and help you clarify. That's what this interaction is for. That's why I do it. But if you're limited on time, the 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃.com is a great resource to answer questions. You can watch a couple a day or more every single day to answer some questions you have right now, get you some clarity, but also answer some questions that you may have in the future. So let me just rattle off some of these videos that are over there, right? I'm just going to read off some titles here to know what's over there. And if you have any questions here, I'll address them for you. Game changer, why you must know how many calories you're eating. Right? I'll build a rock solid case why you have to know that, what it means and what it doesn't mean. A lot of men are just winging it, some getting results, but they get stuck. And then, I hear on the internet, counting calories, this, that, and everything, right? I'm going to explain that to you. I'm not talking about counting your calories for the rest of your life, measuring out your food. That's not what I'm saying here, but you got to know what that is. Only watch this video if you lose too much muscle while trying to lose body fat. That's something I just talked about. It gets in the way of a lot of men looking good. They stay too fluffy, too much body fat, right? Because they don't understand that size isn't all muscle. To look the way they want, they're going to have to lose that body fat, all right? How to pick the right diet for you as an older man. Tips for older men working out in a commercial gym for the very first time. Got some things for you to think about. This is how much muscle can you gain when you're older? Big question. Are these going to pay off? How will I know? How long will it take? Talk about that. Losing body fat for older men. Is one-on-one coaching right for you? Now, I'll tell you, as I do this live in all these different formats, there's going to be at least a few men, the guys who know what they want, they get what they want, they work hard at the job, they're amazing at what they do. They see me, they say, wow, this guy's 62 years old, I like what he says, and they want to go to the front of the line. They don't want to watch all these videos. They don't spend a lot of time on social media. I'm the guy for you, right? If you want me to become your personal coach, either teach you these things or teach you these things and take you through an accountability journey. You immerse yourself in this process for a certain amount of time. You're accountable to do what you learn. You'll have this for the rest of your life. So if you're in your 40s, your 50s, and it's your great right well, your albatross around you, you just can't shake it. And to complete the package of the life that you want, you got to get this fitness under control. Well, one-on-one coaching with me is what's going to do it. In a moment, I'm going to tell you how you can reach out to me, and we can talk absolutely free, all right, to help you identify what you need most at this time, right? So stick around for that. 10 tips to get the most out of your home gym workouts. How long should you rest between sets when you're older? We talked a little bit about that. I started talking about time-saving tips, all right? And it's not to hurry up. That's the time-saving tip. It's the rest from set to set to set with no rest, right? How to improve the shape of several body parts when you're older. Everybody has imbalances, right? Everybody has the imbalances, and you need to have a look at that. How to build bigger arms. That video has been watched, over it's been watched over 2 million times. A lot of men like it because I don't just give you an arm training routine. I talk about the organizing principles to make it work. All right. Joe says, I can hear the TRT. I'm not on TRT. I do this. I talk for hours on this show every single day. I do a live video for at least an hour. My coaching is, I talk to men, I explain this one-on-one. So I do a lot of talking. You don't hear the TRT in my voice. What you hear is a lot of talking about fitness every single day. How to measure your progress when you're older, right? The 5 best ways to measure progress. Right? And I'll tell you what, you definitely want to watch that because it's not weight on the scale. That weight on the scale, I don't care if you're trying to lose weight, and I don't care if you're trying to build muscle. If you're using weight on the scale, it's going to throw you off. It's going to change your eating habits. It's going to make you frustrated. So how the 5 best ways to measure your progress when you're older. There's an entire week of workouts. And that is on, it's on my TikTok page, 17-minute video. It's right here on 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗀.com where I break down day by day, 5-day workout routine. I'm in there for 45 minutes. That's the workout, the exercises, the body parts, sets, and reps. I've been doing the exercises over the week. So that's on the 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃.com site. How to lose the last 10 pounds of stubborn body fat when you're older. How to tell the difference between good information and bad information on the internet. The best rep range for older men. All right. I'm over here. A lot of mental strategies, motivational strategies. I mean, getting and staying really connected why this is so important to you, especially if you haven't worked it into your lifestyle to this point and you're older. Right? You got to really connect. I can help you with help you understand why this is important. You bring it to the front where you maybe you've been suppressing it. Maybe some of the stories and examples of other men will help you. Right? Just how important is strict form to muscle growth. Now I know what the NPC answer is. You might want to read that blog post to help you build more muscle in less time. 5 things older men with busy lives must understand about fitness to finally see the results that they want. How to set your motivation on fire. Bench press. How to eat tasty food and not get fat when you're older. Winning fitness habits. Should you train heavy or light when you're older? Legs, chest, back. Right? I break it down. What you need to concentrate to work those. Arms. And, a home gym calisthenic type workout is on there. How to lose the best weight training routine to lose body fat. And we talked about that. How to make a workout plan. Right? How to get a flat stomach. How to get a 6-pack. How many sets, reps, and exercises should you do per workout? How to lose stubborn body fat. Top 10 diet secrets for older men. How to build muscle. How many reps per set. How to get rid of the man boobs. Should I train with heavy weight or light weight? How to lift heavy dumbbells. How to become more vascular. How to use wrist straps. Right, it's all over there. And if you want me to follow up with any of those questions right here during the live, this live, or any in the future, all right. Just let me know here. All right. Thank you, Richard, for the follow. Feedback, thank you for the follow. Robert asks, Mike Mentzer, any thoughts on his workouts, right? Mike Mentzer talked about a lot of things that I'm talking about, or I'm talking about a lot of things that Mike Mentzer went against the grain because most people think more is better, right? I know mentally you spend a lot of time, sometimes if you do a lot of work, it feels good. It's not necessarily more productive to build muscle. And Mike Mentzer was a big thing about it. It's what you do in the gym, that intensity, and then just walk by, you're going to build just as much muscle. Now that's a tough sell. I don't even train as little as Mike Mentzer, but I kind of like the gym. So I know a lot of men like the gym. They like the whole environment working out. But again, how to get more done in less time. Even though he was a bodybuilder and he appealed to the hardcore bodybuilding crowd, he went against the grain. He talked about exactly what I talked about in this live broadcast about, less is more a lot of times. And if when you're older, that type of training is exactly what you need, right? All right. CD Drywall. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate that. All right, so now's the time. Now's the time. I have an opportunity. I do this every single day. All right, so I'm going to post that, on the screen. All right, so I make myself available. So a lot of men, whether you're brand new and you're watching me for the first time, or you've been watching me for a while, and now is the time you got to take action. You want some individual help, right? All right. Okay, so I do this, and if you take these couple steps and you totally set the table for me to help you more effectively and efficient, and we can do this with our time and energy, I'll be more than happy to do this. And I'm going to give you some time. So number one is text me. Text me at the number 925-352-4366 for those of you on X, right? 925-352-4366. It's on the screen here on TikTok. It's on the screen here on YouTube and on Facebook, and it will be in the description. So, maybe today isn't the day, right? But maybe 2 weeks from now, all right, depending on where you're at, right? So I want you to text me, just introduce you, say, hey, I saw what you said. I need to get more done in less time. Right? I'm carrying around this 40 pounds. Got to do it now. I have health concerns. I'm worried about health concerns. I spend all my time working to take care of my family. I got to take care of me now. And I'm overwhelmed by all this information on the internet. All right. Text me. Right. Just introduce yourself. All right. You don't necessarily have to tell me about your condition, what your questions are, because that's going to be in the second part. Also, text me a picture. Whatever you feel comfortable with, it's fine. You don't need to necessarily take your shirt off if you don't feel comfortable with it. A picture tells me 1,000 words. You may be too hard on yourself. You may be too easy on yourself. I will decide with all my 35 years of experience helping out men just like you. It gives me a better assessment of what you're going through, what you need to do, maybe than what you're aware of. So send me a picture, text me a picture, whatever you feel comfortable with is fine. So if you texted me and you've sent me a picture, hey, thank you for the roses, Renetta. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifts. All right. Then you're going to go to talkwithskip.com. Right. That's going to bounce you over to my 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗀.com website. It's going to bounce you over there, and there's a questionnaire. It's going to get you really clear on what it is you need, what you've done. Of course, you're going to have your phone number, your height, your weight, email address, those type of things, so I can get in contact with you. But you're also going to fill out your situation to this point. Right, you're going to submit that to me. You'll get a copy of it too. So now I have your phone number. You've texted me your picture, and you've taken the time to fill out this questionnaire thoroughly. I have everything I need to use my personal experience, my experience helping out men just like you, thousands over the years. All right. There's no sense you trying to figure this out when you sell all by yourself when you have me. Right. So and then I'll contact you early in the morning today when my schedule is open. But I usually do this for about 2, 3, 4 men every single day. It really depends on if they're ready. So you think, well, how can you do that? Well, most men who are busy, who are productive, who I cater to, they're not going to waste their time, and they're not going to waste my time. So believe it or not, when they're ready, it's worth my time to talk to them because they're going to use it. So if that's you, feel free, text me, fill out the questionnaire at talkwithskip.com. Then I'm going to contact you, and we'll spend 10 or 15 minutes. I'll help you really identify what your biggest challenge is, get you clear on what you have to do, explain it to you once, twice, answer any questions for you, and do that for you absolutely free. All right, so that's how you do this. About 2, 3, 4 men do that every single morning when I go live. So that's what I want to make sure I offer you. And maybe today isn't the day that you want to do that, but now at least you're thinking about it. Right, so text me at the number on the screen, fill out that questionnaire, and I'll look that over. We'll set up some time to talk. All right. All right, so let's do a quick wrap up of the show. Thank you very much for joining me on this morning's Workouts for Women Live. I do this for you at 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time every single day, giving you some information, inspiration, answering your questions, and giving you the opportunity to learn from the questions that are answered from men who are just like you, a little bit older with a busy, productive life. Today, we talked about time-saving tips. How can you get more done in less time in the gym? Becoming effective and efficient, not just adding more sets and reps and volume and frequency. More isn't better. And I talked about the things you need to focus on, things you need to cut out to be more effective and efficient in the gym. Spend less time in the gym with just as much or more productivity. Time-saving tips, we really went over some really key strategies that can help you be more productive in less time, because I know you need a sustainable strategy. You got a lot of things going on, and your fitness is important to you. We talked about TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, something very popular. Confused a lot of men about, do they need it? How are they being affected? How are their testosterone level? We talked about that, like we talk about every single day, it seems like, on the live broadcast. We also answered questions about training and nutrition, how much body fat you really have, how much muscle you may not be losing. I took you over to the 𝗪𝗏𝗃𝗀.com website and all of the videos there that can answer the questions you have now and the ones you'll have in the future. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. All right, so that's my after show wrap up that I post through those. So again, thank you so much for joining me for today's Workouts for Older Men Live. Thank you so much for the follows. Reach out, give you my information if you want some one-on-one attention. If you ever want to know about how I can help you with one-on-one coaching, whether it's several sessions or we go on a complete transformation journey, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.